take a look here, one of the things that TIA did, and this is coming from one of the Smart Buildings Program members who brilliantly put this together, we thought it was really necessary to start defining a smart building. So TIA is defining it as a smart building uses an integrated, interoperable set of technology, systems, and infrastructure to optimize building performance and occupant experience. And I read this out loud. I know you can read it yourselves. I read it out loud because each one of these words really serves a purpose. And now let's take a look at this other model so that we can understand what that means a little bit more in depth. So what's important here is we're trying to move away. What's really beautiful about data is it allows us to move away from the bricks and mortar and start thinking about business opportunities. It enables us to be creative, because what does data do? And it gives us flexibility and agility. And so if we take that and we put it into this system and look at this, all of a sudden our building or any kind of multi-use, tenant, warehouse, whatever it is, it's not just a building, it's a building as a service, BaaS, or space as a service, SPaaS, a system of systems that enable us to actually be creative and generate value out of that property beyond just the bricks and mortar. That's what I'm trying to invite you to do. But we, as ICT specialists, we are enabling that. So let's take a look at this model here. And just so you know, it's stratified only for explanatory reasons, but not from a literal perspective. Let's take a look. So we start from the very basics, the building services, basic building services. We're talking about the plumbing, you know, the structure, the electrical that's put in there and things like that, but just the pipes, the actual piping. Then we look at connectivity and communications. It's fundamental to a smart building, because if you don't have communication and connectivity, you don't have anything. I mean, whether it's from Bluetooth all the way to the XG that's going to be coming in the future, you need communications infrastructure within a building in order to enable smartness. Then you have power and energy. Of course, it's absolutely crucial, especially because communications and power are increasingly becoming intertwined in terms of the types of technologies that are being developed. Information management, what that refers to is the data capture, the management, security, privacy, sensors, all of that is what that layer brings in. Then, and as you see, the first three layers, they're lighter blue because they're really the core. Then you start getting some information, some interesting other additional information. You get information management. Now, after that, once you've got data, you can start doing some interesting things and start being interoperable. You may remember that we said that we have these integrated and interoperable words right here in the definition. And that's because you want to have your systems to have open APIs. You want your systems to no longer be siloed. Unfortunately, what has happened and continues to happen even to this day is that often the systems within a building, the HVAC, the security, the sewage, et cetera, each of them has their own system. It's time to open those up and make them interoperable with open APIs so that the data can flow. The more data can flow, the more creative you can be in terms of what is possible, the more services you can offer. Because, for example, if you want to tie your HVAC system to the system that is in the occupant hands, let's say, if you want to measure the temperature and give an occupant experience where they are comfortable in their environment, you want to make sure that your HVAC system is going to be tied to their application, let's say a mobile application that the building has developed. Or if you want the lighting to be adjusted to their needs automatically when they're walking into their office space or their pod space, whatever it's going to be, you want all their specifications to be into the system so that the system can adjust specifically for them within their environment. That's the kind of level of AI, of smart building that we're talking about. And I gave it away. What we're looking at next is AI, autonomy, whether it's machine learning, M2M, artificial intelligence, the different gradients they can have with so much data happening, with so many systems starting to really be operational and interoperable, then you need to really bring in that autonomous element so that systems can start acting on their own. We don't think all the time in our minds as human beings, I have to process data and shift this over here and do this and this. We wouldn't be able to function if we needed that. well, our built environment is not going to be able to function in the anticipated way with the kind of amounts of data that are anticipated if we don't bring automation into the system. Now comes the exciting part. Once we have these 6 elements put together, now we're able to really start developing some value for the building, or start allowing for some innovation in some services, whether it's services that the property owner and manager can offer, whether it's building driven services, whether it's coming also integrating with the outside, what is happening regarding public transportation, what's happening with weather, with air quality, anything, with food services, et cetera, mobility, transportation. What is happening outside that needs to be brought inside so you can, again, serve the occupants as effectively as possible? What needs to be brought in from the outside that also serves the facility managers, because they're doing a lot in the buildings, and we want to make sure that they have everything that they need. So whoever is a quote unquote stakeholder in a built environment should be able to engage in a way that is of value to them. That is what the property is there for.